Yeah, it does.
Right.
Really
I think
does.
individuals, yes, but the hospital systems, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all
Anyway,
agree. Yeah,
yeah.
anyway.
Hello, everyone. I hope there are someone that's going to join us.
Hey,
Okay, so
hello.
Hey.
today we are joined with the lovely Sammy from Japan and Coach Joff from Brisbane, Australia. Today we're going to be talking about life hacks and just general things in for well-being, diet, nutrition, everything else, exercise, and more. I have some good things to share with you. Actually, I've been doing a bit of research on um, breath work because breath work is something that I've been doing for a long time now. It was one of the first things I started with after my transplant to sort of help get me moving again, to help me start breathing again. But there's a lot of great benefits to breath work. So I want to talk about that today as well.
Mm.
So first, let's reintroduce ourselves for everyone. Sammy, you want to go first? Tell us your story.
Okay. Yeah, sure. My name is Lovely Sami, as DC, called me, from Japan. I'm a terminal stage 4 colon cancer patient. Metastasis, my cancer already had metastasis to liver and lung, which they are going still, but I have no symptom, no pain coming from cancer. So that is a thing. Very quickest introduction of
Yeah,
who is Sami.
very good. Thanks, Sammy. And of course, Coach Joff.
Awesome. Well, my name is Joff. As you can see, I'm a coach of something. I'm a health coach, but I'm also a registered nurse. So, yep. I guess that's really my quick introduction. I basically am here to, spread the message about health, nutrition, and everything that I've learned in the last 3 years since embarking on a journey to improve my health. And that started when I went keto. Then it transitioned naturally without much intervention into the carnivore diet because who loves vegetables? I didn't. I didn't miss it at all when I got rid of it. So, um, I'm here to pay it forward because I turned my life around, changing my life with the carnivore diet and adopting a bunch of lifestyle um, changes. And I guess, as DC said, these life hacks that really improved my life for the better. And so I took it upon myself to this year uh, decide to become a health coach because the world needs people to be reminded that medicine, the healthcare system isn't the way to improve our lives. Healthcare doesn't start in the hospitals. It doesn't start in the clinics. It starts at home. And so I wanted to do my part in, I guess, helping people achieve better health without being admitted. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Trying to avoid being in the hospital system, I think, is a great thing. Once you're in the
absolutely.
hospital system, it's really very difficult to get out.
Mm, mm.
They like to keep you there. They want to keep treating you until you eventually just die. But
Mm.
it's I think it's all connected. Like it's such a big situation that we're fighting at the moment. I think that like the food industry is the biggest in the world, and basically the food industry has got us dying slowly enough that we think we're living, and
Mm.
the hospital system keeps sort of just keeping us going long enough that they can make some money while they're feeding us the medications.
But don't you
Mm.
think
Mm.
problem is the medical practitioners, like our
Yeah.
nurses and doctors and oncologists and all of that included job. You know that they are not evil people. They are
No,
not
that's
trying
right.
to keep us sick enough to come back to refill the medicine. That
That's right.
system kind of teaches them to do so. That's a
Yeah,
problem.
that's
If they
exactly right.
notice that practitioners or even the old nurses knew that, oh, this is a kind of a business. They could have done something about it, but they were almost brainwashed.
Mhm.
Well, that's right.
I'll give you an example. So I deal with a lot of student nurses. Actually, a chunk of my career was to facilitate student nurses in the hospital. So they come in, they do their placements, or they practice to become nurses, and the mindset that the students have are when you ask them, what is it like to be a nurse, or what do you want to achieve as a nurse, they always go to the medications. It's always, I want to be doing medications, administer medications. I want to do IV therapy, all of these real fancy things. And then in a way, it's not that I'm trying to strip it back from them. It's trying to strip that mentality away. But the actual fundamentals of nursing it's not medications. All right, it's communication. It's talking to people and understanding their lives. But because it's so ingrained in the curriculum, that oh, this is what a nurse does. You give medications. Anyone can open pill packets. Anyone
Yeah.
can hook up a line and do that. Those are skill-based things. But to be a health practitioner, or to work in health, you've got to start with communication. You've got to talk to people and understand how to actually communicate with people. And that's I guess I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, because it's so frustrating that that's how the younger generation are thinking. I want to do the cool things. I want to save the world by popping pills out of a bottle. That's
Can I ask you a question, Geoff, if you don't mind?
yeah,
Can I
sure.
ask you a question? When I was kept in the hospital, let's say ICU, intensive unit after my intensive surgery, there are a bunch of nurses and kind of the doctors and the doing things, take care of me. But the thing is that when I saw them, many of them are putting putting themselves in front of the computers. I don't know what they are doing, kind of admin stuff or the dosage or medicine, then the vital of my whatever it is. But there was very few conversations. Majority of the time, they were typing things in computer. What is going on
I
in
don't
an
know.
ICU
It's a
unit?
good question. It's a good question. I mean, look, I mean, in ICU, it's a bit different because it is a critical environment, and they do need to monitor, and obviously, it is a busy
The monitor mean
environment.
not monitoring the computer, right?
And that's what I guess that's what I try to promote, is that the art of actually looking after a person isn't by the tasks that you do. It doesn't start there. It starts with actual communication. Like, actually look at the person that you are treating, look at how they are, and actually make them feel like a human being. All right. And I don't know
Yes.
how you guys have got. I know that both of you have gone through quite a journey in the healthcare system. Um, but and I see that I just see a lot of emphasis on the cool, like I say it's the cool things that people want to do, but really it isn't. The essence of trying to um, look after a patient or a person is by communicating first, and that I think that's lacking in a lot of
Yeah, I think so.
I think
places.
it comes down to the individual too. Like, I
Yeah,
had some really good nurses, actually.
yeah.
Like, for the most part, I mean, not all of them. Some of them were just complete assholes.
Yes, agree.
But some of them are also just especially, I think the less experienced ones, they just do everything by the numbers. They come in, they check me, like, even when I was in ICU, like I went neutropenic, and I was I was in quarantine because I I had an infection in my Hickman line when I was going through a transplant, things like that. But they have to, like, even the nurses would have to suit up, wear a frock and mask and everything to come into my room. But that was just like, they were really cold. Like, some of them were just so cold. Like, they just come in, take the numbers, take the measurements, do everything, like poke and prod.
Yeah.
They didn't even say anything. Like, they just poke and prod and just, okay, it's this time. You go take this, you go do this. That's it. So you really feel like they're just, you're like a cadaver to them.
Yeah.
You're like, it's just a dead body that they're practicing on. Some people are like that. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, individual problem rather than systematic.
Yeah, that's right. I think it could be that they're so, like, especially if they're new to the job, I mean, I suppose one factor would be that they're nervous about getting it right. They're nervous about making a mistake. And so they just focus on what they had to do, sort of thing. But some people they just did not want to talk to you. They didn't want to know anything about you or anything like that.
Don't you think, the medical system, they should have taught the nurses and doctors to the importance of the communication before you're going to pick up any medicine?
They do.
Yeah.
I'd say so too.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, in my experience, yes, there's a whole curriculum or a whole semester on that.
Oh, I see. They put it into the practice.
I don't know now. I don't know how it's changed now, but when I studied, it was. But I guess with communication, it's not just about speaking to people, but it's actually
relating,
making them relating, making them feel like a like you said, DC. They just treat you like a cadaver. Like some of them do, but it's something that I think it needs to be done by example, and you just have to lead by example. But to my original point, it's sad to see that that's where the focus is in healthcare. It's on medications. It really doesn't start in medications.
Right. But a lot of doctors are the same. Like, it's not. I mean, I had really good doctors, but I also had I mean, they were really nice. But at the end of the day, they also just like to see how the treatments work as well. So they kind of treat you like a lab rat, and whether it's working or not, they'll do it to the end because they want to see the outcome, whether you live or die. It doesn't really matter. And that's what it kind of feels like,
Don't you think maybe being busy can be the something kind of they have to desensitize themselves because of the many patients, keep coming.
Yeah, that's right. That's another good point. A lot of them would also try to desensitize themselves because, especially in our situation, Sammy, like in cancer wards, the people are dying every day.
Yes.
Like hundreds of people are dying every single day. So it'd be really difficult, I think, to manage that. Go home at night and realize you've lost another patient, sort of thing. So I think a lot of that would make a lot of sense too.
It had to some extent.
Yeah.
No, definitely does. I mean, I'm certainly desensitized from a lot of things, and I make jokes about it. It is, and it's not, I'm not saying that we try to make light of a situation just to desensitize, but in a way, you kind of have to, because it is a very I've looked after cancer patients before.
Pretty tough job.
It is very tough. It is tough emotionally. Physically, the job is always going to be busy, but it is emotionally tough. It is very tough. So you do have to desensitize a little bit.
See, this is another reason why I think nutrition should be like the forefront of care, because obviously it would make it much easier if people weren't dying every couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
At least I don't think that this our approach like a metabolic approach, it's going to cure all of the cancer. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't
But
think
at
so.
least that's gonna definitely 100% improve. That's gonna improves your quality of life, which matters more than your diagnosis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I think more than anything, though, like metabolic or metabolic health is more important in prevention as well. To stop
Absolutely.
people getting cancer. Like once I mean, when you're in an extreme situation, like we've both been stage 4, I've been stage 4 twice. Like when you are already at that stage, at that level of cancer, like you have to take on extreme treatments anyway. It's going to be an extreme method of treatment. But metabolic, I mean, eating the right food is going to make it a lot more survivable. It's going to give you a much better chance of surviving that extreme treatment. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for me at the time, I wasn't eating carnivore through my treatments. I was eating meat, but I was still eating like a lean, low fat diet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I was doing a lot of fasting because I couldn't
Mm.
handle the treatments. They were so severe. I didn't recover very well, but I did fast a lot, and that I think really helped me a lot.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
It was really,
majority of the vegan protocol for cancer, like a vegan juice diet or whatever something, vegan type of, cancer treatment, they are heavily rely on fasting.
yeah.
You could deplete glycogen after drinking whatever the juice you drink, and long fasting, that is an element. Not that juice is miraculously, destroy the cancer. You're fasting.
Like Professor Seafried says, you can still get into ketosis on a vegan diet.
Oh,
It's
yes.
just a lot more difficult. It's just very, very difficult to do it because you are eating nothing but carbs. So you have to do a lot more fasting. And
But,
because
of
you are
course,
only
you're gonna-
eating carbs, it's very difficult to fast that long.
Oh, yeah. Your will, it's gonna, like end, because the insulin is gonna go up, and the insulin tells you, eat. Yeah,
Exactly.
very difficult.
Yeah.
Needless to say, nutritious deficiencies.
Yeah, that's right. The nutrient deficient. So it's gonna make it a lot more difficult for them.
DC, I got a question for you, man. On fasting, how did you fast during the treatments?
No. But while I was in hospital, I mean, yes and no. I should say, like I wasn't eating meals while I was actually getting treatment. I sometimes would like I ate the night before, but just not the same day.
Yeah. Okay.
So I ate the night before. I never had breakfast before my treatments because I would always throw it up anyway.
Throw it up. Yeah.
It was just completely pointless. And afterwards, I just couldn't eat anything afterwards for at least 5 days, sometimes longer. So I was fasting through that period, and I might every now and then. I did take because it was on R-CHOP when you have like the white cell injection the next day. You start getting all that bone pain. So when you start vomiting a lot, it's on an empty stomach, like really violent contractions on an empty stomach is really difficult. So when I felt it coming on, sometimes I would down like a protein shake. But it never stayed down long. So, but that was pretty much how I got through the first week after treatment. Yeah. And it was 21-day cycle. And it took until about the last 5 days before I actually felt human again. Human enough that I could eat a meal.
Wow.
So there was a lot of fasting. Yeah. So after that though, I found it really difficult to fast because sometimes I felt like I was starving to death, especially through the transplant. After the first week of transplant, I had a really bad infection and everything just went downhill really quickly. And I had a large ulcer in my stomach about the size of a tennis ball.
Wow.
Because everything was really cooked inside. I was literally like a snake shedding its skin from the inside,
Mhm.
So I couldn't eat at all for weeks and weeks after that. Almost 3 weeks, like total. I just could not eat anything, So I felt like I was starving to death. It was that bad. So I even got to the point where I wanted them to put a food tube down my throat.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get anything down.
Did you
So-
get that explanation before you started to go through this process? Your uncle. Oh, okay.
No, they didn't know it was going to be so bad. I mean, they knew it was going to be rough, but I mean, they didn't really expect me to survive after the infection, and they didn't expect me to survive much longer after that. Anyway, maybe a few months. And they thought that the transplant may have bought me a few months, but that's about it.
I see. Yeah, same
but
here though.
I had a
wasn't
really
given any
hard time
information.
trying to fast after that, though. Like, I didn't fast for years afterwards because I really hated that feeling of starving, So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a difficult to do, fasting, long fasting, if you aren't in ketosis.
Yeah, that's right.
If you are sugar burner,
Yeah.
you
that's right.
incredibly tough.
Yeah, sugar just doesn't last long. So
No.
after you get that insulin spike, and you just want to eat. So, if you're not on like a high fat diet, it's incredibly difficult to fast. It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is the thing, that medicine teaches all of the, cancer patients who are going to go through the harsh, treatment like we had.
Yeah.
We were given nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Really?
good luck. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
given any explanation of the after surgery pain or what kind of things going to happen. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was given a long list of some of the side effects that might happen, but nothing about. I mean, they can't really tell you how bad it's going to be. I guess they can't really tell you how much it's going to, and because they can't. Everyone's different for a start, so it affects everyone differently. And I guess you can't. How do you tell someone how bad it feels? Like they can't feel it for you, So I think that's difficult.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah,
If you knew
Yeah.
that was going to happen, did you take that treatment or you might deny?
I think, that's something I've thought a lot about. Really, I mean, it was really tough, and a lot of it was very much touch and go. There's a number of times where I stopped breathing, a number of times that it was really touch and go whether or not they could bring me back or not. Some of it, but at the time, like I had already been through 8 rounds of bendamustine as well, and the cancer kept growing through all that. So it was. I didn't really have any other choice at the time. Even if I had a dietary intervention at that point, I don't think it would have worked.
I see.
So I think if after the first time, for example, after the first 8 rounds of RCHOP, like the first year, if I'd gone carnivore then, I think I would definitely have avoided the second diagnosis.
I see.
And I definitely think that if I'd known about it years beforehand, maybe 5 or 6 years beforehand, then yes, I would have avoided the cancer altogether. But at that point, when I was diagnosed, I was already too far gone, I think, so at both times I needed extreme treatment,
I see. This is something I almost not every day, but frequently I get asked about the fact that, hey, Sammy, I got the cancer. I'm following you. That is why I denied the treatment. And then I have to, no. It's not always the case. I kind of happened to be a person who had to deny because of the fact that I have a bad relationship with my medical team, oncologist.
Mm.
They ridiculed me. And then that is why I can't trust them already.
Yeah.
That is why I denied the operation for new metastasis, lung and liver. But because of my strict carnivore and my exercise, somewhat I survived. That's necessary. All of the people on carnivore don't need medical, modern medicine approach. I don't think so. They might need that.
Yeah.
What do you think, you guys?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said before, like if you are healthy now, or if you just have some like some low level conditions, like even if you have like stage 1, 2 cancer, yeah, you may be able to avoid treatments. But if you're in an extreme case like we were, then I think you're still going to need treatments. But this way of this lifestyle, it's not just about, and we'll talk about this too, but it's not just about the food, because there are other factors.
No, many factors.
But these lifestyle changes that I've made, I think, would certainly make certainly make treatment a lot easier, and make surviving, or could certainly give you much more chance of surviving the treatment as well.
Yeah, you can go through much easier than otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
Agree.
Like, I mean, when my last treatment was just over 10 years ago now too. So like since then, like here in Australia, they're using things like immunotherapy, which has a much higher rate of success and is much more mild. It's very gentle compared to the stuff that I went through, even though they still use the stuff that I went through now. In most cases, though, they use immunotherapy, and it's doing really well. So, yeah, you may not need. I mean, I think you still need to have, make some lifestyle changes and diet changes.
Definitely.
But I think most people now can do it a lot easier on if you get a good oncologist and have immunotherapy compared to like standard chemotherapy.
I see. But very expensive though.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It is very expensive. I mean, here, most people use the Medicare system, but when you're in public hospitals, that can also be a problem as well. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, at least I think that no medical insurance company reimburses immunotherapy, is it?
No,
right?
not that I
That is
know of.
why.
Yeah, but I mean, here it's paid for by the public public Medicare system. So, you can, as long as you've got somewhere to live, like you can still get through treatment here. It's not going to cost you that much, except for medications. Medications here are very expensive. Like
you mean medication is chemo drugs?
Yeah, well, over the prescription medications that come with the treatments. Some people are on pill form chemo. That's not covered by Medicare so much as well. So if you are like an outpatient and you're taking a heap of medications home, that's quite expensive, unless you have like a pension card or something like that, which reduces the cost a lot. But even then, it's still quite expensive because you're on so many medications, So
actually, that's the way.
When I was first diagnosed, actually, I was spending like $200 a fortnight on medications.
Yeah,
so,
sounds right.
Yeah. But this is a way they established a business model.
Yeah.
From cancer patients.
Yeah, that's right.
They have to keep doing that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the food industry, poisons us, and the medical industry sort of treats us on the back end, so, so they can keep feeding us more poison.
Right,
That's it.
right. Yeah, we know it. That is why our approach is very important to be hard people, right? To
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
What
I
have you
had
got to lose? Sorry, man. Go on.
You're right, man.
I was going to say, what have you got to lose with you guys' approaches? I mean, diet uh is I don't want to say it's easy, but because there are some hurdles, but in practicality, changing one's diet isn't that hard, and it's
Oh,
quite
that's right.
not as invasive as a lot of the treatments that you get. And the biohacks that you guys are doing, which I know, pretty much a lot of the carnivores are, like grounding and blocking blue light, Cerule. These are very simple things to adapt. So,
Yeah, that's
what
right.
have you got to lose?
Yeah, certainly,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier than going through treatments. If you can,
Yeah.
if you can get yourself into a healthy position, like before you get sick, obviously prevention is always better than cure.
Mm.
And I think that's the most important thing. Like people are all. I mean, I guess everyone's scared of dying, but it's all about longevity. And about the lifestyle you have while you are
Mm.
here. Is really important. You don't want to spend the last 20 years of your life in bed.
That's it.
What's the point
It's
of
a horrible
living?
way. I can tell you, for like years and years of stuck in bed, just looking at it, staring at the ceiling, it drives you nuts.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
deteriorating.
yeah.
My boyfriend mom was 100 and she passed away maybe 20 days ago. Before that,
Oh,
she
sorry
had
to
been
hear.
kept, that's all right. She kind of had a great long life, but past 7 or 8 years bedridden, she was not allowed to stand up because of the,
horrible.
safety reason. And she was given the paste for years. And before she kind of fall into the coma, I gave her a very soft boiled egg. Her eyes lit up, and she
Yeah.
ate the whole of that. This is the last, whole food she ate, and before falling into coma. Previously, she hadn't eaten any normal food for years. The
That's horrible.
guideline, which the carnivore people don't give a shit. But this is a guideline based on to what's that? All the nursing homes and hospitals
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
militaries and
Standard
school
of care.
lunch, standard cares that kill you.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's horrible. I'm sorry for your loss, Sammy, but that's really horrible. Just the standard
But
of care
she achieved
kept
100.
her in bed. Didn't try to help her regain her strength or anything. Just fed her on
No,
pace for the rest of her life. That's
keep her
disgusting.
alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's horrible.
something we have to change this idea. Just try to elongate your lifespan, not focusing on the health span, which we are going to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, it's about health span, not so much your lifespan. I mean, there's still other factors that are going to, end life sooner than you would hope. But you want to be healthy while you're here, and you want to be strong enough to
Absolutely.
get up and do things,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So obviously, the high fat diet is one of the biggest changes that I've made. Like I spent a lifetime on low fat, and often on vegetarian and always lean meats. So high fat
We
was
all
the
been
biggest.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys know, like it is life changing. It really is life changing to get onto a high fat carnivore diet.
Absolutely.
But what are some of the other life hacks that you guys do?
You can go first, Sammy.
Oh, okay. We all three of us have something common is exercise. We love exercise.
Yes.
It's not the something I try to kind of the help myself about cancer. That is why I exercise. No. I just love exercising. It's ended up saving my life. I think that exercise comes next after nutritious intervention, dietary intervention. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
the next biggest thing to diet is circulation.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
circulation of your
Lymphatic.
blood. Yeah, your blood and your lymphatic system.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah,
Agree.
absolutely. I think being able to, you guys probably would have experienced it, but being able to move after, lying down in hospital bed for some time is liberating. It feels
It is.
amazing
Yes, yes.
just to
And
get
then,
out of bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that if you kind of build a muscle, and for
Mm-hmm.
some reason you have to be kept on a hospital for months and months, and your
Mm.
body shrinks. But there is a,
Yeah.
called muscle memory. Your body
Yeah, that's
remembers it. The bouncing back time is much faster than you are building a muscle from the start, from the
Mm-hmm.
scratch, right? It's fun.
that's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the question there that we've got, what type of exercises do you do and recommend? Um, I like it depends on where you're currently at in whatever health journey you are partaking in. If you're someone who's has been bedridden for some time or hasn't been able to get out of bed due to treatments, very simple things like you have bed mobility, doing exercises in bed, um, all the way up to walking if you can after treatment, um, or if you're in a journey where you want to try and lose some weight. Maybe it's getting back into walking outdoors. Um, Basically, I really recommend walking if that's possible. To start off at the basis of getting moving is just to move your legs and get
Mm.
walking.
Yeah.
But if you can start to introduce some form of resistance to your exercises, um, like resistance training with some weights. That's probably another thing that I recommend a lot of people do. Um, yeah, start off with the basics and then work up to whatever you can implement in your life. I was just talking to someone about doing some body weight exercises and training and incorporating it in their life. Simple as, push-ups,
Yeah.
things
You
like
know
that.
what? Recently,
Yeah.
I had two ladies I had a conversation with. They are cancer patients, and then they
Mm,
said to me that, "Hey, Sami, you are strong. You have a strong will. That's why you can do exercise." But I'm so tired. Both of them said, "I'm tired," and then
mm,
I told them, I'm not, like a jump out of the bed. Hey, I'm excited to do exercise. I have always internal, like a strong dialogue. Two Samis, one of the Samis goes, oh, it's winter time, it's cold, let's stay there. The other Sami goes, oh, it's time to do woke up. I always fight. And then
mm.
kind of put myself together to do exercise. I'm not gonna, to be especially talented to have a motivation to the exercise. Some of them even start one squat a day. They struggle to start doing
Yeah.
that. I got a
Yeah.
lot of resistance. What do you think?
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. I mean, some people, depending on where they're coming from, some people struggle just to get off the bed. I did.
Yeah.
I had, I had literally, like, I was 2 steps from my bed was 2 steps from the bathroom, and I couldn't do that by myself.
Mm.
So, some people in that situation. For me, I started with deep breathing, and I'll tell
Yes.
you,
Okay.
why
Nice.
in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of great benefits to that. But I think, yeah, if you are um, in a like average health sort of situation, I think resistance training is the best kind of training you can do. high intensity resistance training or high intensity interval training. If you
Best
like
bet.
doing sprints, for example, if you find it difficult to do sprints because of joints and things like that, you might try doing it on stairs and things like that.
Yeah.
It makes it much easier. It's
Even you
more
have a
resistant.
problem your legs, just punching to
Yeah.
lift up your the pumping of the heart. You can achieve that all out just punching. Sometimes I
right.
prescribe it.
Boxing is fantastic exercise. Jump rope, very good exercise. Even like high intensity interval training on a stationary bike that you can do at home. You can do some sprints on the cycling, really good. There's a number of things that you can do to get started. I love resistance bands, for example. Bands
Brilliant.
are fantastic.
Very safe.
Very safe. And you can do a full body workout at home, and resistance bands take up almost no space in storage as well, so anyone can pretty much have them.
Yeah.
They come in a range of resistance, like thickness and strength, so they're really versatile.
When they start moving I think they are kind of epinephrine, dopamine secreted, feel
right.
good. Then, I have done it. That kind of the feeling
That's
motivates
right.
them.
Yeah.
You have to
Exactly.
start that.
Yeah. But there are other things like I was talking about before as well. Like grounding, circadian biology is really important as well. But like I said, breathing, just deep breathing, you can also get the same benefits of such as fitness, as in doing a high intensity interval training session. So even if you can't physically get up and do sprints, a good deep breathing session will give you the same benefits. Okay.
Teach us.
Yeah. But there's also other things as well. Now, when it comes to, there's something in the body that's called HIFs, okay? And these are hypoxia inducible factors. And they have subsets of like 1A, 2A, and 3A. And they have a B subset as well. Now, what this means is that when the body senses like low oxygen levels, okay, it will start producing HIFs, will stimulate your kidney to produce a hormone called EPO. All right, EPO is just the short name, but the long name, if you really want it, is kind of a little bit difficult to pronounce.
Confuses us.
But,
Skip it.
But we'll just keep it EPO anyway.
Okay.
But what this does, why this is so important is because EPO is a hormone that helps protect your brain, your heart, and all your other organs. But what it also does is it stimulates the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells.
Oh.
Yeah, good one, Geoff. So especially if you are have a low immune system, you have weak bones, or you are coming out of treatments like chemotherapy or anything like that, or any kind of treatment really, deep breathing, okay, doing breath holds and getting your breathing regulated to a point where a healthy breathing range is between 6 and 8 breaths per minute. Anything over that, okay, you're breathing too much. And there's been studies over the years that show that too much breathing will actually shorten your lifespan. Okay. Because you're not saturating because you're over breathing. It just means you're not breathing deep enough, for one, and you're not actually getting the oxygen around your body and things like that, which actually helps with hormone production like EPO. And it also means that you're not going to be sleeping properly, especially like if you're a mouth breather. Another good trick is to either, sometimes you might want to tape your mouth, or you might have Yeah. And just make sure that you breathe through your nose at night to help you sleep. Makes a very big difference. But the key here is that producing more red blood cells obviously means more uptake of iron, okay, more absorption of iron, and also carrying more oxygen to the cells, okay, to all your other cells, because that's what red blood cells also carries oxygen.
Can I ask you a question at this point?
Yeah.
So let's see, I can follow you correctly. By slowing down your kind of a breathing rate, that increases your O2 uptake.
Yeah.
Is it? So why, hyperventilation kind of reduces oxygen uptake? It kind of in my brain says, isn't it the opposite?
It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But when you do like a deep breathing exercise, like session, say 15 minutes, that's all you need, 15 minutes in the morning, say, or at night. And you do breath holds, okay? It's like you're sort of oxygenating the body. You're drawing in so much and then pushing it out, drawing it in, pushing it. And then you do a breath hold at the end. So you're stimulating through what they call, I've got it written down here. So hypoxia, like a low level oxygen tension is what they call it. All right. And when you have that low oxygen level tension, you produce more of the HIFs, which stimulate the kidney to produce the EPO. All right. So during those breath hold periods, okay, you're low level oxygen, and then when you draw it in, okay, you're now producing more red blood cells, and then when you draw that breath in again and start breathing normally, you're carrying more oxygen, and therefore through the rest of the day, you have a lower breath rate, a deeper breath rate, and you find that that's why you feel so much better throughout the rest of the day.
You have to do in the morning to activate this kind of a cycle.
I mean, I like to do in the morning because it makes you feel really good for the whole day. But a lot of people do it at night before they sleep as well.
Yeah.
And that's going to certainly give you a much deeper sleep. I like to also do like before I go to the gym because you're carrying all that extra red blood cells, the extra oxygen as well. You're much stronger. And you can also do a lot more because you can push yourself because you're breathing better in the gym as well. So it's really great for strength training. But it's also really good for recovery as well. So like doing a session before and after gym, it was a fantastic way to stimulate, help your breathing, help you to do a higher intensity sort of resistance training, and then to help you recover afterwards.
Don't you think? I sometimes I do hyperbaric oxygen therapy. The idea behind it is
the same thing, pretty much the same
logic, right?
Yep. Yeah. So pretty much do the same thing. Like athletes do this. Like it also mimics things like altitude training. Cyclists in Europe, they live at very high altitudes because it does the same thing. Okay. When you are, and the hyperbolic chamber does the same thing because you are in that low oxygen tension state. Okay, you start to produce more EPO and then more red blood cells stimulated from your bone marrow. Okay, okay, so that's the whole idea between of the hyperbolic chamber, altitude training. Some people even stimulate like a similar sort of thing when they wear a mask at the gym. Like if they wear a mask while exercising, they get that same low oxygen tension. Okay, so like breath work is really important for increasing benefits. Not even for athletes, fit, healthy athletes, but also for people recovering from different conditions. And that's something that I have done. Out of the last 10 years of my remission, I've done it for 9 years. I've been doing breath work for. That's been the one constant in my, like, I've changed my diet and numerous times. I've tried all these different things that, you know, all these different special fruits and herbs and spices and all this other junk that doesn't work. And all kinds of supplements that people say, oh, this fights cancer, which is utter nonsense. But
Agree.
the one constant that I have done is this deep breath work, and slowly increase the fat intake to where I am now. So that to me, I think, has been a really big help. And I have noticed also that when I don't do it, when I don't do the deep breathing exercises on a regular basis, like sometimes I might take a month off or just do it off and on sort of thing. But if I don't do it regularly, my red blood cells drop dramatically in my blood test. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's one of the most important things that I could be doing.
Wow. Very good. Very good. Geoff, you know, is there any kind of a similar a treatment in modern medicine? Do they kind of incorporate some oxygen therapy or breathing therapy, all of that into, you know, the treatment in general, not only cancer, but also type 2 or metabolic, you know, like dysfunctional diseases?
Not sure, to be honest. I don't know.
None.
I don't know.
I think it's also
I'm
very
not too
good
sure.
for reducing inflammation as well. So anyone
Yes.
that has any kind of inflammatory response disease, like that, I think breath work would really help as well. So because it really affects your vagus nerve and your parasympathetic nervous system as well. So it can really help reduce inflammation. So
I've been breathing deep, you know, since we are talking about right now.
Me too. I put my mic on mute. Just deep.
Well, I'll show you one quick thing you can do. Like I like to do, like the Wim Hof method, for example. You do 30 breaths, and then you do like breath holds, right? And then you do a deep breath in and you hold. But like a couple of short things that you can do. Like if you first thing in the morning, I think it's really energetic, help get the body flowing. Like I said, it's all about circulation, and this is what deep breathing does for you as well. It circulates your blood, and it also circulates your lymphatic system as well. So like, if you get up first thing in the morning and you do like star jumps and breathing really heavy and fast just through the mouth, just for 1 minute or 2 minutes, okay, just as deep as you can, and push it out, and jumping with your arms up in the air, jumping like that. I guarantee you'll feel more alert, and like in 1 minute, your whole day, it makes a very big change.
Parasympathetic system fireworks, isn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It gets everything, and especially like when you're on the carnivore diet, it's going to get a whole lot more ketones to the brain, because you're fat adapted.
Interesting.
One you can do right now is just do breathe out, push all your air out through your mouth, and just like this, push it all out, and now suck in as much as you can. And when you do that, suck it, like fill your stomach first, then your lungs, and then what you want to do is squeeze your ab muscles, squeeze your stomach muscles all the way from the bottom to the ribs, then squeeze your ribs, and then squeeze your throat, and just hold it there. Okay, hold the breath in. So I'll show you just a quick demonstration, and this will give you an idea of how good it makes you feel afterwards. Okay, so I'll push the air out. Now I'm going to breathe in as much as I can. Fill the stomach, then the lungs. Now squeeze the abs and squeeze the air back up to the head. And just hold that as long as you can. Hold it. You feel your head get really warm. You feel your whole body get really warm. Okay. All right. So try it again. I'll just instruct you guys. Okay, push all the air out. Okay, now breathe in to your stomach, then your lungs. Now squeeze your abs like you're pulling your belly button to the back to your back. Pull your belly button through to your back. Now squeeze your ribs. Use the abs. Use all the chest muscles. Push that air up to your head. Hold your breath as long as you can. Hold it. Hold it. For as long as you can. Then relax.
Oh.
We,
How's that feel?
feel a rush. Oh, I feel a
Yeah,
rush.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a tingling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel
Right?
tingling all over, yeah. Yeah. That's your nervous
Yeah.
system, yeah. So
I hope that someone joined our video and they think that what's going on?
Yeah.
Nothing.
What's going on
hurt
here?
here. What's going on?
Yeah.
Talking.
If you can do a good one. I'm glad you tried it, baby goats. Well done. Yeah, you get a real rush. That's a really good way to wake up in the morning, like do that. And yeah, if you can imagine like a long, deep breath session, like sometimes you can do like an hour, 90-minute breath session. All right.
Wow.
Great exercise. And
Wow.
I honestly, after a really good heavy breath session, I'm sweating more than after the gym.
Oh,
you
really?
can do, yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
You can really do a really good, serious, solid session. So
Wow.
but that
Which reminds me too.
stimulates so many processes in your
Mm.
body. It's incredible. And
Including
it's
adult stem
something.
cells.
Yeah.
What's that?
Including stem cell release.
Yeah, including stem cells. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another benefit. I actually did a video on this yesterday. I put up for my members, but it also it stimulates the body to release more healthy stem cells.
Yes.
Okay, so there's so many things that this does for your, so many processes in your body.
Yeah.
And like I said, like circulating the lymphatic system and the blood system. Obviously, the blood system, you got all those red blood cells now stimulated. It's going to carry more oxygen, so you've got more energy. That all that extra oxygen, you've got more energy for everything that you do through the rest of the day. But things also for your white cells. White cells are pushed around in your lymph fluid. Okay, so it boosts your immune system. Okay.
I think that it's anti-aging as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, stem cells
absolutely.
And the blood circulation.
That's right.
Hey, DC, change that title. Anti-aging. It's gonna be clickbaity today.
Yeah.
Many ladies jumping.
Yeah. Yeah, but
very interesting stuff.
Really incredible what you can do with breath work. You can literally do like an elite athlete workout without getting off the bed. It's really amazing.
So you can see it in athletes, especially that do competitive stuff like weightlifting, powerlifting, and even like your sports athletes. You watch them and you see what they do before they work out. They do the deep breathing. I used to compete in powerlifting, and that's what, so pre-heavy lifts that I would do, it would incorporate deep breathing. And it's interesting that you brought this up because it makes a lot of sense, and it never clicked to me until now. But one of the things, if you're doing a big heavy compound movement, let's say a squat, one of the techniques that a lot of powerlifters practice is the heavy brace, and it's to really engage all the muscles in your core to keep your spine, protected, and that feeling afterwards of taking the deep breathing before your squat and holding that breath in and releasing after you do the squat, you feel like, I don't know, just a lot cleaner. Like it feels really good. So
Yeah.
Well, this is
Right.
something I'm gonna be starting to incorporate next year because I'm getting back into strength and conditioning and
Mhm.
personal training. Because breath work, I mean, training athletes, like swimmers, for example, you can have like the difference between first and fifth place can be 100th of a second.
mm,
Breath
Mm.
work can give a real edge to athletes who are not only competing in like those kind of speed sports, but also lifting, bodybuilding,
mm,
anything like that. But I think it's where it's really important is like we were talking about before is cancer treatments as well.
mm.
I think the production of these cells, red blood cells, and like helping to recover very easily because a lot of people who are sedentary, and this is something they can do from bed. So they
Mm.
don't have to get up and do anything. They can
Yeah.
just do some deep breathing, even while they're doing their treatment. So this is something I
Yeah.
really want to get into.
It can be low-hanging fruits, isn't it?
That's right.
For beginners as well. They're not gonna pick up the weight to do something as a first step. Got to be the something kind of everybody can do, like a breathing, like
That's
this.
right. And it's something that you can do at your own level. Like a beginner's not going to do like a big session like I do now. I mean, when I first started, I couldn't even do 30 breaths. I did 10 and I started from there and it sort of built up from there. So these are, things that you can work on. Anyone can do this from any level, So that's what I think is really important. I just went to see Dr. Hampton today. He's my doctor. He said that it's not only the diet, it's also exercise, sleep, stress, what you think. Recommended that I started resistance bands. Very good. Yeah, exactly. What you think is another good one there. Self-talk, okay, is also very important, because what you believe is what is who you are, if you, for example, believe you can't do it or believe you can, either way, you're right. If you talk yourself out of it, it makes a very big difference. So,
Yeah. Since your body decides your physiology.
yeah.
Mm.
I've always believed, even when I was from young, like as an athlete, I've always believed the body will do what the mind tells it to. So you
Good
tell yourself you
philosophy.
can do it, and it will do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very, very big difference between, from my days when I was going through treatment to, now I do pull-ups with, like just holding straight bars, not the crossbar. I'm talking about like strong grip, like, or even just the iron ball with 20 kilos. So
20
there's a very
kilos.
big
Wow,
difference.
you're a beast.
You just hang it on by fingertips,
Wow.
Yeah. Mm, mm.
Incredible.
Okay, amazing. Walking is amazing. I joined the post office years ago. 40 pounds of work, walking 20 miles a day. Yeah, that's very
Wow.
good.
Mhm.
As much like rucking. Okay, it's like rucking it's pretty much just hiking with a backpack of weight on your back. Rucking is a great exercise. Carrying extra weight around, just doing your normal odd jobs around the house, that helps a lot.
You know
really
what?
does.
When I was young, I purchased the heavier, very heavy, vest, that weighted vest. And I thought, okay, if I do that, my bone density, bone is gonna be stronger. My muscle is gonna be bigger. But I haven't trained my core muscle yet. And then I did the rack walking a lot to the point that I strained my spine.
Yeah,
You have to start from lightweight.
yeah,
I
I
learned it.
agree. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Actually, like Geoff was saying before, you're talking about body weight exercises, push-ups, for example. I don't think you should start push-ups unless you have core strength shoulder strength and joint strength in your elbows and your wrist. Okay, so I think you should work on, even if you start with bands, you could do really good exercises for your shoulders first, and maybe strengthen your joints before you start doing push-ups. But push-ups you can do from like different angles to make it very light as well to start with. Like I have a few videos on push-ups where you can just start from just doing it against the wall, standing against the wall.
Yeah.
So you can then just change the angle to add more resistance before you start doing it from the floor, for example.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Or you can go onto your knees.
Yeah.
If you can, that works. Yeah.
Motivation's Booby Gates' problem. Yeah, motivation can be difficult. That's where discipline comes in. Okay, motivation doesn't last. You know, like most people get started. It's very easy to get them started, get them excited, and they think, okay, yeah, this week I'm hitting the gym and everything's going to be good. Then next week they start feel sore and tired, and you think maybe tomorrow. You know, that's where discipline comes in. You know.
Yeah. You know, I have one technique. Count 5 to 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Wake up. You know, you're not gonna wait until motivation comes over you to pick you up. You will get up anyway.
Yeah, good.
That is my solution.
Good trick, Sammy. How about you, Jeff? How do
got
you
one
beat
trick.
motivation?
Well, this is something actually I can't remember who the speaker was, but it was on procrastination. Sometimes it's not the yes, the motivation is a factor, but for most of us, we are procrastinators,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's the fact that we just need to become a little bit more impulsive, and actually just do it. You know, tell yourself to just do it. Have a voice in your head, or somehow have a trigger that just says, take action.
Do it.
Yeah.
Nike says.
Yeah. Because I think for the most part, I think most people are motivated. No one wants to be unhealthy. No one wants to be.
Yeah.
It's
I think when you
yeah.
start procrastinating, it's because you start thinking about it.
Yeah.
If you stop, I think one of my tricks is I just stop thinking about it and I just get up and do it. That's one of the things I use. Because I find that if I start thinking about it, I'm going to procrastinate. I'm going to think, oh, maybe I'll do it later. Maybe I'll do it. No, just don't even think about it. Just get ready, get dressed, go. You know, that's it. Stop thinking about it. Another thing, you know, other things that might stimulate motivation is, you know, look back at how far you've come is another one. But you know, some music. Sometimes I'll put on some music that helps me to stop thinking about it. It's just cool, fast music. Yeah, it gets me motivated, gets the blood going, and I sort of just get into it, you know. So
good.
there are different things that motivate every one of us. So.
Seeing progress, seeing success, is a motivator.
Yeah.
You can start by making your bed. Make your bed. And then once you finish it,
that's motivating because it gives you a job that you've already finished for the day. So that's one job down, and then you work on the next one, you know.
You disappeared, DC. Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, just a quick trip. This is a good example. Josephine's got, you know, she's building up, you know, she's gone from 3 to 6 minutes and she wants to build up to 20 minutes. You know, this is what I always say, like, this is how I started with my breathing as well. I did what I could until what I could do got better, you know. So just do what you can, and eventually, like, it will grow. You will get better, and every step will get, you know, bigger and faster as you go. So don't be afraid to start small.
Yeah, start small. Work our way up.
Yeah. Question: is it better to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth? It depends on what you're doing. Like normal everyday breathing, yes. Just you should only be breathing in and out through your nose. Okay. There are different breath exercises like we just did before. It was just breathing in through the mouth. Okay. For the Wim Hof method, for example, I like to do breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. But again, also depends on what part you are doing as well when you're doing breath holds and things like that. So, but I will be doing some breathing videos on this very soon. I'll show you some different techniques. I do already have a couple up of just very basic, very easy ones that anyone can do. And there's also another, like in the 4 life hacks video, the 7 life hacks video, and just the straight breathing video as well. So I'll put some more of that up for you soon. But in normal everyday just living, you should only be breathing through your nose, or at least in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you should only have 6 to 8 breaths per minute. Okay.
So the nitrogen was a gas, like it causes vasodilation. That nitrogen oxide.
Nitrogen
Am I?
oxide. Yeah,
That's the
nitrogen
one.
oxide.
That's the one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Production.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Yesterday I had digestive disaster. Someone brought beef and beans. No beans.
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 Yeah.
But the bean residue, must have been gotten. Yeah. Once they've cooked any meat with beans, all those toxins in the beans are always going to be in the meat. Horrible bloody things. I hate beans. Hello, Running Tap. Great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hello.
Oh no, isn't it funny how our minds think it'll be okay, but the tummy says no. Yeah. It's replying to Rick.
Yep, I know all about it.
Because I love beans, actually.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Because you're Japanese, you're like natto.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. To my the full disclosure, natto can be okay because really fermented.
It's fermented.
Disgustingly
Yeah.
fermented.
Yeah. I mean, I hate natto. I think it looks like what comes out of a baby's nappy. And it smells like it too. It smells the same too.
Yeah. Smell like
Horrible.
the it's 4 days non-washed socks.
Then when it comes out of the packet too, that's the part that
Yes, smelly. Then the very kind of slimy. All of that disgusting. I agree.
I met Running Tap at the we had the meetup here in Brisbane.
Oh, Running Tap.
Nice.
All right. I met you too then.
Yeah. I only asked the breathing question because I'm mouth breathing. Okay, yeah. Very good. You want to stop that. Breathing through the mouth is actually really, really bad for your body. Okay, so
Your pH of their mouth, it goes bad direction, more acidic when you do the mouth breathing.
Yeah, so you want to get
your nose filters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Your nose filters all the so many things. So, yeah. Yes, you're always very helpful, DC. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, D. I've watched many of your videos.
Many useful videos.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, well, I'll try to be more helpful soon. I'll try to get some. I've really got a lot going on at the moment, so I'm moving and all sorts of crazy stuff going on. But hopefully, I'll be able to put some more helpful exercise videos up soon, and I will talk about more strength training.
Oh, great!
Because strength training is my first passion, so I'm going to get back into that. And I think the biggest thing that I think everyone should be doing breath work, whether you are sick, sedentary, bedridden, or pro athlete. Okay, it's going to improve your life dramatically. So I will be working on that. Yeah, actually, I might even start doing some classes on that soon. So
cool.
We'll talk about that later. So, okay. Anything else, guys? What else would you like to talk about?
Yeah, we have covered many things.
Yeah, we have actually. We've covered a lot today.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
um, I think another thing is even what we were talking about before, we're talking about circadian biology. Being
Mm.
outside is really important. Um, I think another thing is even on a rainy day, even on a wet, cloudy day, being outside, you still get all those all that red light therapy that you just have to
Hmm.
stay outside a little bit longer. You know, that's all it
Mm.
means. So don't be afraid to get wet. You know, because your skin is waterproof, so it won't get in. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually
It can.
thinking about this too.
Mhm.
I've been, I have patients in the hospital that always ask, is it okay if I go outside? Can I go outside? I always encourage it. I always just say, go, and they'll sometimes tell me like, look, I've got medications due at this time. I said, look, just come back, but that shouldn't stop you from actually being outdoors. And I think that's one thing that I always encourage, um, people in hospital. Just don't spend your day inside, a
Yeah.
four walls and a window that can't open.
Mhm.
If you got family or if you got, ability to get yourself outside, do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like back in the day, like 100 years ago, the hospitals would wheel patients out and outside in their beds to get sunlight, because
Mm,
they know that it heals the body,
Yeah.
mm,
Whereas now they try and keep everyone inside.
Mhm.
It's
mm,
crazy.
mm.
I'll
Right.
share a photo here. Can you see that? Yeah,
That's
Oh,
that's
cool.
a hospital. See, back
nice
in the
though.
day,
Very good.
yeah,
Sunbathing.
yeah, that's right. The hospital all out in the bed, sunbaking
Wow.
because it's so
Oh, look at
healthy
that
for them.
vitamin D. The
Yeah,
Yeah.
vitamin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it feel good. It feels so good.
it
Mm.
does. Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels really
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
One of the comments from Jasna, hospitals need courtyards accessible to patients.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate where I work that uh, i- access to, outdoor areas are pretty, easy to get to. But you also need people willing to facilitate the movement of patients in these outdoor
Yeah.
areas, which,
Yeah. I
like
was
you
going to
just saw
say,
there. Yeah.
like, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. That when I went to a lot of different hospitals for different reasons while I was going through treatments
Mm,
because, I'd get an infection and the ambulance would take me to a different hospital sort of thing. But
mm,
where I had treatment, they did actually have access to a courtyard,
mm.
but they didn't encourage anyone to go out there. And the only people that actually did go outside were the ones that actually sort of wheeled their treatment outside so they could have a cigarette.
The smokers, yeah.
Yeah, smokers,
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's gonna offset the good stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
but none of the staff thought to take any patients outside to make it easier or anything
Mm.
like that, and no one even
Mm.
mentioned it. So it's just something they don't think about. So
Mm, mm. I do. I send them outside. Less work
no,
for
that's
me. I
good,
don't have
man.
to worry about it. Send them outside. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Just kick them out.
Yeah.
Just kick them out.
Yeah.
Good, good.
We
Great.
we have a balcony, and so I always just say, no, go to the balcony.
Yeah,
Stay there
just
for a
don't
bit.
jump.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
it's walled, so you can't. But,
Okay.
but yeah, it's such and patient like all the patients love it because it's like they're so institutionalized. They're so used to being
Yeah,
Mm.
inside, and you take them out and they get some sun, and they come back. They just look a lot better. It
yeah.
looks, it
Mhm.
looks,
They're much happier. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
Yeah.
agree.
Nan looks like she's had a great time, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
she comes back and they're all knackered. They all want to go to bed. It is it's lovely. And I actually showed someone a paper on grounding about wound healing, which is very interesting
Oh.
because you get a lot of patients that have wounds that need to be healed and stuff. And then I just out of curiosity have a look at this paper. people who ground themselves to the ground have improved wound healing, and it starts to get people thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe I could ground a little bit when I'm
Grounding and sunlight.
Yeah.
You
in
know,
sunlight.
wound healing
Imagine.
really quick. Yeah. Here's a good book recommendation. You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I really like Joe Dispenza. I don't know, do you guys
Have a
know
look.
Joe Dispenza?
Not
I've
yet.
heard of him.
He does
Placebo. Okay.
really great guy. He does a lot of interviews on other podcasts too, like School of Greatness, and
Yeah.
you should look him up. Yeah,
I will.
it's
Sure.
great mindset stuff. He also does a lot of breath work. Yeah, so
Okay.
breath work and meditation and stuff. So yeah, hospitals should have courtyards, no air conditioning and incandescent light.
Yes. No, they
Yeah,
didn't
that's
have
right.
air contact there.
No, that's right.
No.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't have the LED lights that back then either. So unfortunately, that's another thing. Yeah, light is very important. We're talking about blue light. Back in the day, obviously, taking the patients outside to get natural light, get red light therapy. A lot of people now are using red light therapy, like really expensive lights and beds and stuff like that cost tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, you just go outside, So red light therapy is obviously very good for us then. So that's why we need to be outside more. But unfortunately, the hospitals now, the light that they use really damages people's health as well.
Yes, I had an argument with nurses. I put that I turned the light just above my head, and then one of the nurses shouted at me, "You shouldn't do it. It's bad." But for what? She didn't explain. And great.
For the light, turning the lights off.
Just the individual, like a very bright blue light was lit. Just above my head where I'm lying down. I turned the light off, and the nurse got incredibly angry at me. I remember. She was maybe tired.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I think like in Japan though too, like people are real they're really OCD about following rules.
Exactly.
They can't deviate, and it can be a really simple thing, just like that, turning off the light. Like I remember, I went to a gym in Japan, and my head's shaved, like I've got no hair, but one of the rules of the pool is to wear a hairnet to stop hair getting into the filter, right? So the gym staff actually made me wear a hairnet, even though I had no hair on my head.
What?
Because
that's
the rule.
Oh my
so they
goodness!
have to have
of course, rule comes first.
Just, I thought it was crazy funny as well.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I wore the blue light cut lenses. On top of that, I wore sunglasses, double glasses. I have to kind of given the consent to using sunglasses at night. I have to give them some paper. I needed the paper to give them the permission to wear blue light cut glass. Welcome to Japan.
Yeah. That's unfortunately that's just. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Japan. I love living in Japan. It's really easy. It's very easy to get things done in Japan. But
yes, it's true.
But there's also that side where they follow the rules.
Yes, societal rules.
Tight. They're just they're just too tight. Like if there's rules on the board, then everyone has to do this. There's
you have to nail it.
Yeah. So
even if it doesn't make sense.
Even if it doesn't make sense.
Like wearing a hairnet if you don't have hair.
I know. That's why we have a fax machines are going on still.
Yeah.
Working fax machines.
I remember that.
No joke.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's all good. Yeah,
Welcome.
It makes you laugh sometimes. I mean, like, imagine like I was like this,
God.
no hair at all, and they make you wear a hairnet, like a swimming cap.
That's funny.
That's funny as hell.
Of course, you have to.
Yeah. It's the rules.
Oh, of
It's
course,
the
rule is
rules.
rule.
Anyway,
Wow.
that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'll let you
All right.
guys go. So I thank everyone for joining us. You guys want to give any last minute advice, Sammy? Josh?
You go
Be
first, Sammy.
happy, breathe well, breathe
Yes.
deep.
That's
Yeah,
it.
All right.
breathe well, breathe deep.
Yes.
If I think the biggest thing is through your normal day breathing, try to regulate it down to 6 to 8 breaths per minute.
Okay.
Try to breathe only through your nose.
Mm.
But I will show you some deep breath exercises soon that have like some of the stuff that we spoke about before. It is incredible just how many benefits there are to deep breathing exercise and like light hypoxia, breath holds and things like that can really do a lot for your body, especially if you are coming from a point of recovery from whatever illness. So it will really help you recover a lot faster, I think. And it will certainly give you better results, I think, anyway. So, I mean, it really does help you think a lot better as well,
Yeah.
Any last minute, Geoff?
Yeah. Look, if I can just plug in there, to anyone who's watching, I'm organizing a World Carnivore Month accountability challenge. Anyone's free to join, whoever is wherever you are in your journey, whether you're just starting off or you're well seasoned and you've got experience. It's really just to encourage each other to follow this lifestyle. And for those who are experienced, it'll be a good way to pay it forward and help others who are just starting off. So yeah, it's just a free um, group that I've got on Facebook. So just come and jump on if you're keen. Anyone's fine.
Yay.
Excellent. Very good.
Great.
Yep.
All right. Thanks everyone very much for watching. Just remember that there are other breathing exercises that I've already shown. That I've already got videos up on, like in my life hack videos. So that's a good way to get started. But I will bring some more to you as soon as I can. But like I said, I've got a lot going on at the moment. But if I don't see you beforehand, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a great New Year coming, and have a great Merry Christmas with your family and friends. So, all right, we'll talk soon. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Alrighty. Have a